Hello. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible? Am I audible? Himanshu sir, can you see my screen?
Am I audible, ma'am? Rama, ma'am?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah.
Is my screen showing?
Yeah, it's
Can you
visible.
see my screen?
Visible. Correct. It's
Hello.
visible, ma'am. It's visible.
Okay.
So, good afternoon, all the participants, and good afternoon to Rama, ma'am. Today is Aarti. Uh, we are again fortunate for having another session with Rama, ma'am. Today's topic is also very interesting, managing exam stress. So, I will now request the RP to please start it now. So, Rama, ma'am,
Thank
please
you,
start.
Himanshu sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, Himanshu sir. So, first of all, I'm thankful to Aryavat Sahodaya for giving me the chance of taking another session of online training. And today's topic is also very interesting and important for all of us. This is managing exam stress. You know, teachers, when gold comes out of gold mine, it is very unimpressive. जब सोना निकलता है ना खान से तो very yellow, soft, unimpressive piece of matter. उसको हीट किया जाता है, उसको खींचा जाता है, उसको पीटा जाता है, तब जाकर कुछ बनता है। हम लोग की लाइफ भी ऐसे ही है। स्ट्रेस के बिना उस लाइफ का कोई इम्प्रूवमेंट, कोई डेवलपमेंट, कोई एनरिचमेंट संभव नहीं है। आई रिमेम्बर वेरी नाइस सॉन्ग जो बचपन से हम लोग गाते थे। हिंदी में करो तो उसका दो लाइन बोलता है कि धूप को अगर ना जलाओ तो खुशबू नहीं देता है, और दिया के बत्ती में अगर आग ना आप टच कराओ तो उससे रोशनी भी नहीं निकालते हैं। इसी तरह हम लोग की ये जिंदगी को अगर कोई भी अच्छा शेप देना है तो स्ट्रेस लेना तो इनएविटेबल है। बिना स्ट्रेस का जिंदगी हो ही नहीं सकता। अगर मतलब हम लोग जिंदगी को जिस रूप में देखना चाहते हैं उस रूप में अगर हम लोग चाहते हैं तो स्ट्रेस लेना इज इनएविटेबल। स्ट्रेस is a normal part of any healthy human being's life. अगर हम लोग फिजिक्स याद करें तो स्ट्रेस है क्या? ऑक्सफोर्ड डिक्शनरी में अगर देखें तो, या तो अगर डेफिनेशन ऑफ फिजिक्स देखें तो प्रेशर और टेंशन exerted on a material object is called stress. और अगर हम लोग के लैंग्वेज में इंसान की जिंदगी में अगर स्ट्रेस समझे तो क्या है? इट्स अ स्टेट ऑफ माइंड और इमोशनल स्ट्रेन और टेंशन resulting from any adverse or demanding circumstances or any important changes in our life. कुछ भी चेंज होता है, उस चेंज के लिए हम लोग अपने आप को जो तैयार करते हैं, उस चेंज को कैसे फेस करते हैं, ये जो सारा प्रक्रिया वो स्ट्रेस की अंतर्गत है. तो अब बात है कि स्ट्रेस के बिना तो चल नहीं सकता है, ये एक बात है. दूसरा है, टुडे वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस अबाउट मैनेजिंग एग्जाम स्ट्रेस. अभी एनुअल एग्जाम भी आने वाले हैं, प्री बोर्ड, उसके बाद बोर्ड. अब ये जो एग्जाम है इसके बिना चल सकता है क्या? नहीं, वो भी नहीं चल सकता है. एग्जाम भी लेना इनएविटेबल है. अगर जिंदगी में कुछ सीखना चाहेंगे, अगर compete करना चाहेंगे और अगर जिंदगी को बेहतर बनाना चाहेंगे तो एग्जाम के थ्रू हम लोग को जाना ही पड़ेगा. तो एक तो बात है कि स्ट्रेस के बिना जिंदगी नहीं होता है. दूसरा बात, एग्जाम के बिना पढ़ाई लिखाई सीखना, बेहतर बनाना ये हो नहीं सकता है. तो क्या हम लोग के हाथ में क्या रहा? हाथ में रहा मैनेजिंग इट. हाउ टू मैनेज एग्जाम स्ट्रेस, ताकि वो हम लोग को सर पर चढ़ के ना बोले, उल्टा हम ही एग्जाम को कंट्रोल करें. कैसे करना है? अच्छा, उसके पहले पहले देख लेते हैं कि व्हाट इज स्ट्रेस. तो जैसे लिटरेचर बोलता है, स्ट्रेस इज अ नॉर्मल ह्यूमन रिएक्शन दैट हैपेंस टू एवरीवन. In fact, human body is designed to experience stress and react to it. When you experience changes or challenges, your body produces physical and mental responses, and that altogether is called stress. जरूरी है. हम लोग रास्ता से चल रहे हैं, अगर सामने सांप आ गया तो स्ट्रेस तो होगा, क्योंकि या तो मुझे भागना है या तो सांप को मारना है. तो whether you fight the situation or you flight away from the situation, भागना है या फेस करना है, फाइट करना है, स्ट्रेस जरूरी है. बिकॉज स्ट्रेस जब होता है तो बॉडी में क्या होता है ये हम लोग थोड़ा सा समझ ले. ठीक है? स्ट्रेस क्या होता है? स्ट्रेस responses to help your body to adjust to new situation. So stress can be very positive, stress can be very important. It keeps us alert, it keeps us motivated, it keeps us ready to avoid danger, it keeps us ready to face danger. कोई कभी कभी न्यूज में पढ़ने को आता है ना कि कोई मम्मी एक टाइगर के साथ फाइट करके अपने बच्चा को बचा लिया. तो उसमें क्या हेल्प करती है? उसमें बॉडी का जो चेंजेस है, मसल में जो एक्स्ट्रा स्ट्रेंथ होता है, प्रेशर जो हाई होता है, जो हार्ट रेट बढ़ जाता है, ये सब हेल्प करते हैं असंभव को भी संभव करने के लिए. बट yes, stress becomes a problem when the stresses continue without relief. मतलब अगर नॉर्मल सिचुएशन रहता ही नहीं है लाइफ में, हमेशा टेंशन में है, हमेशा वरी है, हमेशा एंजाइटी है, then it is a problem. So we cannot avoid stress, but we have to understand and we have to learn how to manage stress positively. Okay? So this is stress. And then the next thing what we are going to discuss is that is exam. Because आज हम लोग एग्जाम स्ट्रेस के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. एग्जाम्स, they are crucial part of education and they are the source of stress for many students. अभी भी होता है ना, अगर कोई बोले कि परसों आपका एग्जाम है तो पेट में मड़ोड़ना शुरू हो जाता है, लगता है भूख नहीं लग रहा है, Because in order to avoid severe anxiety from these pesky evaluation, it is important to approach the examination with a clear mind and an understanding that how to deal with the situation. एग्जाम स्ट्रेस कब बनता है? जब हम लोग डिसिप्लिन्ड वे में लाइफ को नहीं चलाते हैं, जब हम लोग की जिंदगी में रेगुलरली हम लोग स्टडी नहीं करते हैं, अपने आप को तैयार नहीं करते हैं, एग्जाम के बारे में मेरे पास इंफॉर्मेशन नहीं रहता है, वी डोंट नो व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन टाइप, वी डोंट नो अबाउट द होल ऑफ द सिलेबस, इधर से थोड़ा सा पढ़ लिया, उधर से थोड़ा मगअप कर लिया, और उसके बाद अगर एग्जाम फेस करने जाएंगे तो एग्जाम स्ट्रेस तो होने का है। लेकिन एक बात याद रखना है, ये जो स्लाइड में बोला जाता है कि एग्जाम इज इक्वल टू लाइफ, है क्या? हाँ, लाइफ में एग्जाम जरूरी है, लेकिन एग्जाम की रिजल्ट सब कुछ नहीं है। जिंदगी में एक एग्जाम की रिजल्ट अगर थोड़ा सा खराब हो गया, अगर किसी को क्लास 8 में या क्लास 10 में या क्लास 12 में 70% आया, 80% नहीं आया, 90% नहीं आया, डजेंट मैटर, बिकॉज एग्जाम लाइफ का इनएविटेबल पार्ट तो है, but exam is not equal to life. And in many cases, exam stress is all in the mind. I remember a little boy during the PT2 exam came into my cabin and told that I am feeling stomachache. I cannot appear for the exam. I want to go home. The boy was in tears. I called his parents and I asked them. And I knew that the boy is very good in studies. बट उनके पेरेंट को बुलाने के बाद उनसे बात करके मुझे पता चला कि ये जो बच्चा के ऊपर ये एग्जाम स्ट्रेस का असर है। बच्चा जो बोल रहा है कि माई स्टोमक इज एकिंग, दैट इज बिकॉज ऑफ द एक्सट्रीम एग्जाम स्ट्रेस ऑन हिम, and the exam stress was not as a result of his irregular studies. He was good in studies, but because the demand of his parents was so much. पेरेंट का डिमांड है क्लास में आपको टॉप करना ही करना है, एंड दैट कॉजेज द स्ट्रेस। सो सबसे बड़ा बात है कि लाइफ में डिसिप्लिन और मेंटल डिसिप्लिन, ये दोनों को अगर हम लोग लेके चलेंगे तो एग्जाम की स्ट्रेस और लाइफ का स्ट्रेस दोनों ही मैनेजेबल होगा, एंड लाइफ विल बिकम better for us, okay? Because continuous stress is not a good thing. So उसके बाद जाने से पहले एक एक छोटा सा रिपोर्ट पढ़ ले, दैट्स वेरी सैड टू सी। Okay, this report was published in September 21 in a leading newspaper. I'm not naming it, but it tells that as many as 24 students have died by suicide in Kota this year, and this is the highest number that emerged in the country's education landscape 3 decades ago. मतलब 30 साल से कोटा का जो क्रेज है उसके बाद भी इतना ज्यादा सुइसाइड कभी हुआ नहीं. दिस इज द मैक्सिमम नंबर. In India, which has set its sights on the moon, aspirations can reach astral height. And I have heard parents say things like, we had decided to send him or her to IIT when he or she was born. आजकल का पेरेंट बच्चा जन्म लेने से पहले सोच लेते हैं कि खुद आईआईटीएन नहीं बन पाए, सो बेटा को आईआईटीएन बनाना है. खुद एम्स में मेडिकल नहीं पढ़ पाए, सो बेटी को एम्स में जाना ही जाना है. ये जो एक्स्ट्रा प्रेशर दैट बिकम्स टू मच फॉर द चाइल्ड. So what happens by the time the child gets to class 7 or class 8? अब साउथ में चले जाइए, श्री चैतन्य है, नारायणा है, क्लास 6-7 से पूरा के पूरा आईआईटी के लिए, जेई के लिए, एनडब्ल्यूटी के लिए प्रिपरेशन शुरू कर देते हैं. So this relentless pressure from the cradle onwards dictates the lives of the Indian middle class. जो हम बन नहीं पाए वो मेरे बच्चा को बनाना है. बाप माँ इतना भी नहीं समझते कि बच्चा क्या चीज में अच्छा कर सकता है, बच्चा क्या चाहता है. वो भी नहीं कंसिडर करते हैं. द ओनली कंसिडरेशन इज वट एवर वी कुडंट डू दैट माई चाइल्ड मस्ट फुलफिल. The highly competitive joint entrance examination for engineering and the NEET for medical studies serve as launch pads for students to gain admission to the prestigious public funded Indian Institute of Technology and All India Institute of Medical Sciences. That is the ticket to promising careers. हर एक बार देखते हैं ना स्कूल में बच्चा 10th के बाद क्या है, उसको कोटा जाना है. कोटा जैसे एक टैबलेट है, कोटा जाने से जिंदगी में सब कुछ मिल जाता है. कोटा जैसा कोई मैजिक है, अच्छा कोचिंग क्लास जैसा कोई मैजिक है, उसमें डाल दो और बच्चा एकदम बना बनाया आईआईटीएन या डॉक्टर बन के निकल आएगा. ऐसा है नहीं. Everybody, every child is unique, and we have to find out in what area he or she is unique. अगर लता मंगेशकर को आपको डॉक्टर बनाना है, ये दुख की बात है ना, क्योंकि उसका जहां पोटेंशियल है उसको हम लोग यूज करने के लिए सोचते ही नहीं है. पेरेंट्स, टीचर्स भी कभी कभी सोचते ही नहीं है. बट यू शुड अंडरस्टैंड what the child is capable of, where the child is unique, and where the child can do something very interesting or very good for him or her. See the tragic report. This is very much scary. This is the report, death by suicide in below 18 age group. ऑल इंडिया का रिकॉर्ड देखिए 2019. इसमें भी देख रहे हो कि गर्ल्स का सुसाइड रेट और ज्यादा है, बिकॉज उसके ऊपर प्रेशर थोड़ा और ज्यादा. आप अगर इंजीनियर नहीं बन पाए, आप अगर डॉक्टर नहीं बन पाए, यू डोंट नो व्हाट विल बी योर पोजीशन इन द सोसाइटी. मे बी यू विल बी मैरिड ऑफ, तो उसके लिए और ज्यादा प्रेशर होता है. अभी देखिए ना, डेथ रेट जो है, डेथ बाय सुसाइड का रेट, वो गर्ल्स के लिए थोड़ा ज्यादा है, और इसमें घटने का कोई नाम नहीं है. इट्स ओएल अबाव 4,000 ऑल द टाइम. 2020 में और ज्यादा था, 6,000 तक पहुंच गया था. अभी थोड़ा सा कम, बट दैट इज ऑल्सो वेल अबाव 5,000. हाउ सैड इट इज. all are promising youngsters, they are feeling कि ये अगर नहीं कर पाए, मेरा जिंदगी में ही मैं फेल हो गया. ये बात नहीं है. ओके okay? तो ये तो गया एग्जाम का सिनारियो, एग्जाम का स्ट्रेस, और मोटा मोटी इन नाटशेल क्या होता है. ठीक है, क्या होता है जब एग्जाम में बच्चा पास नहीं कर सकता है और एक्सट्रीम स्ट्रेस से वो सोचते हैं कि इट्स बेटर टू कमिट सुसाइड. Now let us see what happens to the body during any stress. एग्जाम तो स्ट्रेस का एक कॉज है. कोई भी स्ट्रेस में क्या होता है, मैं पहले ही बोली थी कि स्ट्रेस इज अ नॉर्मल प्रोसेस वेयर योर बॉडी makes makes itself ready to face this changed situation, the demanding situation. तो ऑटोनॉमिक नर्वस सिस्टम जो है बॉडी का, जिसका सेंटर हाइपोथैलेमस में है, ब्रेन में, तो the brain, the hypothalamus center of the central nervous system, that excites the body. तो what happens, आपके जो किडनी है, किडनी के ऊपर दो ग्लैंड रहता है, एड्रेनल ग्लैंड, उससे एड्रेनालिन और कॉर्टिसोल हार्मोन रिलीज होते हैं. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली अ बिल्ट इन स्ट्रेस रिस्पॉन्स. और ये जो स्ट्रेस हार्मोन ये जब निकालते हैं, ये जब निकालते हैं एड्रेनलिन ग्लैंड से, तो उससे क्या होता है, उससे जो ब्लड वेसल है वो कंस्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं. तो देयर विल बी मोर ब्लड टुवर्ड्स द हार्ट. Heart rate will I'm sorry, there will be more blood flow towards the muscles, so that the muscle becomes extra strong to face the situation, or or to fight the situation, or to just fly away from the situation. तो हार्ट रेट बढ़ता है, ब्लड प्रेशर बढ़ता है, मसल बिकम्स स्ट्रॉन्गर. देन this this change in the body actually help you to face the stressful situation. तो ये तो कभी अगर एक चेंज या डिमांडिंग सिचुएशन आता है तो ये बॉडी में चेंजेस होता है. लेकिन व्हेन अ पर्सन इज एक्सपोज टू लॉन्ग टर्म स्ट्रेस एवरी डे, There is stress on his mind, on her mind. This is continuous activation of these stress hormones. So, agar continuous, there will be more, the heart rate will be more, blood pressure will be more, then there will be physical symptoms. So, what will be the physical symptoms? There can be pains in the body, there can be chest pain, हार्ट में आपको लगेगा कि आपका हार्ट दौड़ रहा है, the heart is racing, you have exhausted body, you have trouble in sleeping, you have headache, dizziness, shaking of the body, high blood pressure continuously, muscle tension, stomach problem, digestive problem, weak immune system, all can be the effect of long term stress. तो क्या करना है? स्ट्रेस नॉर्मल है, लेकिन हमेशा स्ट्रेस लेना या हमेशा स्ट्रेसफुल रहना कभी नॉर्मल नहीं है. There can be some other complications also. So, if there is long term stress, it can lead to emotional symptoms and mental symptoms and behavioral symptoms. There can be anxiety, irritability, depression, panic attack, sadness, and some people who cannot manage stress very efficiently, and there is continuous stress on their mind, they try to manage it with some unhealthy behavior. किस तरह का अनहेल्दी बिहेवियर? स्मोक करना, ड्रिंक करना, जुआ खेलना, ओवर ईटिंग या खाना एकदम छोड़ देना, यूजिंग ड्रग, ये सब मतलब अलग अलग वे में तब इंसान स्ट्रेस को मैनेज करने का कोशिश करते हैं. सो दीज कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आर ऑल्सो वेरी वेरी बैड फॉर अ ह्यूमन बीइंग. मीन्स जब मतलब मैनेज नहीं कर सकते हैं तो ये सब अनहेल्दी बिहेवियर भी इंसान शो करते हैं. So, what you should know about stress? So, before managing, you should know about stress, that how long does stress last? Normally, it is a short-term issue. आपके सामने अचानक कोई चेंजेस आया, कोई डेंजर आया, कोई चेंज सिचुएशन आया, कोई डिमांडिंग सिचुएशन आया, you respond to it. That is the tenure of less, no, I'm sorry, stress normally. But if it is not, if it is a long term problem, then you need to regularly use stress management techniques. We are going to discuss about that. And then the next question is, when should I talk to a doctor about stress? जब आपसे स्ट्रेस मैनेज नहीं हो सकता है, you know that you are going beyond control, you are feeling overwhelmed, you are going to use drugs, कभी कभी आपके मन में suicidal thought आ रहा है, then you know that it is too much and you should talk to a doctor, to a counselor. At least you can talk to your teacher or you can talk to your parent that you need some medical help or other type of help to manage the stress that you cannot manage of your own. Okay, so regular stress is not a good thing. We need to think about what are the management techniques. What happens when the students are under this exam stress? They can show these type of symptoms which are given in this slide. There can be upset stomach, there can be dysentery, they can suffer from low confidence, nervousness, illness, loss of appetite, loss of memory, mood swing, depression, vomiting, low or no communication, negative self image, and at times thought of suicide. बात यह है कि हम लोग कभी कभी सोचते हैं कि बच्चा या स्टूडेंट नाटक कर रहा है because he or she is not prepared. But believe me, it's not natak. Sometimes it is very true. The student is actually under severe stress of examination, and that is why these are the symptoms that is shown in his body or in his mind. Okay, so if you see any of the symptoms regularly in a particular student, you should know that that student or that youngster is under stress. Maybe an adult human being also can be under stress if he or she is showing this type of behavioral symptoms or mental symptoms. Okay. Now, if it is there, should we do away with the exam? As I have already told, exams are integral part of a student's academic journey, and exams play a very crucial role assessing a student's knowledge, understanding, and skill. And exams are also very important for the teachers because you know whether your students have understood the concept, they have remembered, they can apply the knowledge, they are having the skills which is required in them. So exams provide a measure of a student's progress. It identifies areas that need improvement, and it helps students develop essential skills such as time management, critical thinking. So it is necessary for a student's overall academic and personal growth. We cannot do away with examination. Examination के बिना बच्चा ना तो पढ़ेगा ना तो अच्छा इंसान बनेगा. It's important for them to sit for exams in their life. Okay. So this slide is talking about the role of examination in our life. Okay. So what are these roles? Number one, exams are necessary because they are crucial component of a student's academic journey. Exams do not only help students to evaluate their knowledge and understanding, but also plays a vital role in building their confidence. Remember, when a student does well in an examination, or when a student has read properly, is prepared properly, he or she gains extra confidence. As a human being, he or she becomes confident. And the enthusiasm for competitive examination that helps students to develop a healthy enthusiasm for competition. They set their own goals, they set their own benchmarks, and they challenge themselves to excel and push beyond their limits. जो बच्चा एग्जामिनेशन के लिए अच्छे से तैयार होते हैं, वो अपने आप को पुश करते हैं, वो अपना एम को और ऊंचा प्लेस करते हैं, एंड दे रियली excel in their life. Because when any human being goes from being average to being excellent, in between there is the role of examination. Examination also helps in self-analysis. They are essential tool that help students to self-assess their academic ability. बच्चा जब तैयार होते हैं, बच्चा they gain insights into their strengths and weakness. And this self-analysis also help them to set realistic academic goal. कोई कोई स्टूडेंट जब आके बोलते हैं कि दिस इज द लाइन फॉर मी, दैट इज नॉट, बिकॉज he or she has analyzed her own skills. He or she knows what he can do nicely, excellently, and what he cannot do. So this self analysis part is also, you can tell, this is also yielded by examination system. And when there is achievement of examination, exams help students in achieving their goals and aspirations. No, when we were talking about this IIT JEE, when we are talking about NEET, it's also true that these students who achieve a seat through these competitive exams, their achievement is ultimate. So exams are also important aspect of a student's academic journey, and they serve as a tool for assessing the student's knowledge and understanding of a particular subject. Not only that, they get self-confidence, they get motivation, and they gain a sense of accomplishment, and they can achieve success in their life. So, achievement of examination is actually closely related with the accomplishment or achievement in life. Okay. Now, when we are talking learning by examination, क्या होता है? हम लोग सब टीचर हैं, हम लोग जानते हैं क्लास में कुछ पढ़ा के आते हैं, अगर बोलते हैं कल आके पूछेंगे, कल आके शॉर्ट टेस्ट लेंगे, then a student start studying it properly. So learning is also, you can tell, a side effect of examination. छोटा हो बड़ा हो, assessment कर रहे हो, evaluate कर रहे हो, the students will actually learn that piece of lesson. So exams play a very crucial role in the learning process of students, not only to test their knowledge and understanding, but it also helps students to identify their strengths and weakness. Okay, so students can understand the concepts more deeply because they read, they learn better, and they get a better understanding of the subject matter. So in the school, if learning is important, then examination is also important because learning can become a byproduct of examination. Okay. Then exams also help students to develop a wide range of skills. We tell about 21st century skills which are necessary and essential to make someone successful. And let us see what are these skills which are developed when the students go through the process of examination. First one is time management. Exams require students to manage their time effectively, both during the preparation process and during the actual exam itself. बोर्ड का कोई बच्चा अगर जानते हैं कि पहला 15 मिनट मुझे क्वेश्चन पेपर पढ़ने के लिए मिलता है, फिर 3 घंटा मुझे लिखने के लिए मिलता है, then he or she will know. We make them practice that way only, ना. They have to manage their time. प्रिपरेशन में भी उसको टाइम मैनेजमेंट करना पड़ता है. कितना घंटा मैथ्स को देना है, कितना घंटा सोशल साइंस को देना है, कितना घंटा साइंस को देना है. साइंस में भी फिजिक्स, केमिस्ट्री, बायोलॉजी, कैसे कैसे इसको बाइफाकेट करके टाइम को अलग अलग स्लॉट में बांट के पढ़ना है. ये टाइम मैनेजमेंट भी उसको आ जाता है व्हेन दे प्रिपेयर देमसेल्व्स और व्हेन दे राइट द एग्जामिनेशन. Then memory and recall. Remember, memory is an integral part of teaching learning process. Students cannot avoid that, and students are able to retain and recall information because they try to perform well on examination. जानते हैं अगर हम लोग याद नहीं रखेंगे, एग्जाम में लिख नहीं पाएंगे, so in the way to prepare themselves for examination, it actually boosts their memory and they have better recalling power. Next is critical thinking, a very, very important skill for 21st century. So exams often require students to analyze, evaluate, and synthesize information, which can help them develop critical thinking skills. कम्युनिकेशन, एग्जाम में लिखना पड़ता है, कभी कभी ऐसे लिखना पड़ता है, ओरल एग्जामिनेशन होता है, वाइवा वो से होता है, and it requires students to communicate their thoughts and ideas clearly and effectively. So communication skill is also boosted, enriched through the system of examination. Then comes problem solving. Exams can test a student's ability to solve problems and apply their knowledge to real world scenarios. Nowadays, there is a shift from पहले का जैसे क्वेश्चन पेपर बनता था, आज का क्वेश्चन पेपर में एप्लीकेशन बेस्ड क्वेश्चन आता है, and then when the students are answering those questions, their problem solving skill is enriched. Organization and planning. What is that? Preparing for exams requires students to be organized and plan their study time effectively. कब पढ़ना है, कब क्वेश्चन का आंसर लिखना है, कब उसको रिवाइज करना है, कब उसको रेक्टिफाई करना है, everything, what copy for what thing, everything they have to be organized and they have to plan everything properly. And then resilience, that is also a very, very important skill. Taking exam is stressful, that is true. But students who learn to cope with this stress, they can develop resilience and perseverance. So these all important skills are nurtured by the system of examination. So what we mean to say here, that these are the benefits of examination. You cannot do away with examination system, but you need to understand how to manage the stress of examination. Then we are talking about benefits of examination. Examination can give you some scholarship, which is very, very important. Okay, which can be very, very important for poor students or for well-to-do students also, because that is related with some prestige. इजी जजमेंट फॉर टीचिंग, टीचर्स गेट टू नो कि कौन कौन सा टॉपिक है बच्चा अच्छा से अंडरस्टैंड किया, कौन कौन सा टॉपिक है बच्चा अच्छा से समझ नहीं पाया, सो लिख नहीं पाया. सो दिस गिव्स ऑल्सो अ जजमेंट फॉर टीचिंग. एग्जाम्स रिवील स्टूडेंट्स लर्निंग मेथड. किस तरह का, किस बच्चा किस मेथड से सीखते हैं, कैसे लर्न करते हैं, वो खुद भी समझ पाते हैं और टीचर और पेरेंट भी समझ पाते हैं. Exams also create healthy competition, because healthy competition is actually the way to grow, to develop ourselves. So when there is healthy competition among the good students, then all the students are benefited because of this healthy competition. Exams teach focus. I remember, मैं जब स्कूल में थी, हम लोग के जियोग्राफी टीचर वाज वेरी स्ट्रिक्ट. So every day after the lunch break there was geography class. तो जियोग्राफी टीचर का पढ़ाई बहुत अच्छे से हो जाता था. 20 मिनट में हम लोग पढ़ के रट के समझ के तैयार रह जाते, बिकॉज वी वर ऑल फोकस्ड. We were knowing that the teacher is going to examine us, the teacher is going to test us whether we have learned it or not. Assessment के आप डर बोलो या स्ट्रेस बोलो, it teaches focus and concentration. एग्जाम्स कंट्रीब्यूट टू ग्रोथ. नहीं तो अगर हम लोग एग्जाम का स्ट्रेस नहीं लेंगे तो ग्रोथ हम लोग की जिंदगी में नहीं आ सकता है. ग्रोथ, डेवलपमेंट, एक्सेलेंस, दैट कम्स थ्रू एग्जामिनेशन. Examination teach time management. We have, sorry, that we have already told that exams teach time management, and exams trigger brain exercise by more retention, by more understanding, by better thinking, better cognitive ideas. So exams also trigger brain function. It improves the brain by continuous brain exercise. Okay. Now, what are the effects of exams on students? Till now, we have already discussed that exams can be very positive and exams are inevitable. That is very important. But these exams can have both positive and negative effects on students. एक साइड में एग्जाम तो स्टिमुलेट करते हैं लर्निंग को, इट एनकरेजेस स्टूडेंट्स टू प्रैक्टिस एंड रिवाइज, इट बिल्ड्स देयर कॉन्फिडेंस, इट shows them how to manage their time, it builds enthusiasm, it provides opportunities for achievements and scholarships. That is the positive part. But those who cannot face the exams because of extreme stress, they feel the stress and anxiety. And this continuous stress or anxiety can have negative impact on the mental health and academic performance of the students. Additionally, exams can sometimes result in a narrow focus on memorization rather than understanding, and can fail to accurately measure a student's true knowledge and skill. अगर कोई स्टूडेंट का इतना ज्यादा एंजाइटी है कि प्रिपरेशन के बावजूद वो ये स्ट्रेस को मैनेज नहीं कर सकते हैं, तब उसका जो मतलब जो उसका एक्चुअल परफॉर्मेंस होना चाहिए था और जो प्रैक्टिकली होता है उसमें अंतर दिखाई देता है, बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एक्सेसिव स्ट्रेस and lack of the techniques of stress management. So, what are the causes of exam stress. Let us analyze. First one is lifestyle issues. What are the lifestyle issues? Inadequate sleep. कोई कोई बच्चा होता है एग्जाम से पहले रात भर पढ़ते हैं, ठीक है? तो अगर ये स्लीप डिप्राइवेशन डेली डेली होता है, देन इन लॉन्ग रन इट विल कॉज स्ट्रेस. सो inadequate sleep, पुअर न्यूट्रिशन. कोई बच्चा होता है जंक फूड ही खाएगा, कोई है बिल्कुल नहीं खाएगा बिकॉज देयर इज एग्जाम स्ट्रेस. So poor nutrition can also be a cause of exam stress. Then use of stimulant. I remember when I was uh, in my board class, then a very good student of Ramakrishna Mission, he was continuously using some stimulant to keep himself awake throughout the night. रात भर पढ़ेगा उसके लिए कुछ वो स्टिमुलेंट यूज करते थे. तो on the day of his first exam, he couldn't write his paper because he was just, his whole body was shaking and he was not in his normal mind state. So stimulant use हो सकता है, that can be one cause of exam stress. Use of excessive caffeine, use of energy drink. Then insufficient exercise. आप इतने ज्यादा पढ़ रहे हो कि आप बिल्कुल चलना फिरना सब बंद कर दिए हो. You have locked yourself in a room and you are going through your books again and again and again. So that can be a very big cause of your stress. Not scheduling the available time. I'm sorry. मीन्स जो टाइम मिलता है उसी में कैसे कैसे आप टाइम मैनेज करके पढ़ना चाहिए वो आपको नहीं आता है, और यू आर नॉट प्रायोरिटाइजिंग द कमिटमेंट. जो आता है आप उसी को करने जाते हो, जो नहीं आता है उसको बिल्कुल छोड़ देते हो, ये सब हो सकता है. सो दीज कैन बी द लाइफस्टाइल इश्यूज. Then information need, lack of exam taking strategies. You should be knowing what strategies are important for what exam. Lack of academic information, that means कोर्स रिक्वायरमेंट आप नहीं जानते हो, लेक्चरर्स एक्सपेक्टेशन क्या है, आपके आंसर में क्या क्या होना चाहिए क्या क्या नहीं होना चाहिए, एग्जाम डेट नहीं जानते हो ठीक से. कोई कोई बच्चा होता है जियोग्राफी के दिन हिस्ट्री पेपर देने चले जाते हैं. देन एग्जाम सेंटर का लोकेशन आप नहीं जानते हो. ऐसे भी बच्चा होता है या तो ऐसे भी पेरेंट होता है जो एग्जाम सेंटर का लोकेशन नहीं जानते हैं. लैक ऑफ नॉलेज ऑफ हाउ टू अप्लाई स्ट्रेस रिडक्शन टेक्निक. ये सबसे क्या होता है, एक्सट्रीम स्ट्रेस बन सकता है. कोई बच्चा एक एग्जाम सेंटर में जाके वो देखता है कि ये मेरा एग्जाम सेंटर है नहीं. यू कैन इमेजिन हाउ स्ट्रेसफुल विल बी द सिचुएशन. Then the third one can be the poor studying styles, inefficient studying, inconsistent content coverage, trying to memorize, trying to mug up the textbook without our understanding. Being studying मतलब जैसे कोई लोग होते हैं ना, बाकी दिन डाइट पे रहते हैं और कभी कभी बहुत ज्यादा खा लेते हैं. तो ऐसे बीन स्टडिंग मतलब क्या है, कुछ दिन तुम बिल्कुल नहीं पढ़ते हो, कुछ दिन बहुत ज्यादा रात भर भूख लेके बैठे बैठे रहे. ऑल नाइट स्टडिंग, इनफेक्टिव स्टडिंग, रीडिंग विदाउट अंडरस्टैंडिंग. You cannot recall the material. You are not making your own study notes or review notes. You are not studying properly. You are not revising properly. So these are poor studying style, and that can also lead to extreme exam stress. And the last one is psychological factor, feeling little or no control over the exam situation. That's in your mind. Negative thinking, self criticism. For example, one child is thinking, I am not smart enough, I will get a terrible grade, I cannot pass this exam, I cannot do this. Irrational thinking, irrational belief. If I don't pass, my family will lose respect for me. My friends will not talk to me. I will never get a degree. Irrational demands भी हो सकता है, जैसे I have to get at least A grade, otherwise I will be worthless. And there can be some thought like I'll fail no matter what I do. मैं बहुत एवरेज स्टूडेंट हूँ, मैं बहुत पुअर स्टूडेंट हूँ, और मैं कभी अच्छा कर ही नहीं सकता। ये है साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर। तो कॉजेज ऑफ एग्जाम स्ट्रेस मेनली ये 4 तरह से आते हैं: लाइफस्टाइल इश्यूज, इंफॉर्मेशन नीड्स, पोअर स्टडिंग स्टाइल, एंड साइकोलॉजिकल फैक्टर। जस्ट अ मिनट, आई एम सॉरी। I'm sorry, I was coughing a late, and that's why I have muted myself. So, the next slide is talking about critical examination. It is critical examination of your mindset. It is true that examinations are critical, but here I am telling about critically examining your own mindset. When you have identified the causes, 4 कॉज के बारे में अभी अभी हम लोग चर्चा किया: लाइफस्टाइल इशू, इंफॉर्मेशन नीड, poor studying style, and psychological factors. Now, first of all, the student or the parent or the teacher has to critically examine the mindset of the examinee. When you have identified what is the cause of your stress, you need to ask additional question. अगर कोई बच्चा को लगा, you can ask a student why your performance was not so good. Think about it and give me the answer. The student will critically examine his or her status and tell that, okay, I was not prepared properly. Then the next question should be, why was I not prepared? Was it because I did not have enough time to study? Did I not understand the material? If I did not have sufficient time, why not? Because of other courses, because I was stuck to my mobile phone, because I was chatting with my family members, because I was too much busy with my friends, because of my job, because of watching television continuously. You need to critically examine what was the cause. You can see how critical it is to thoroughly examine the causes. और अगर cause आपने जान लिया, then it will be easier to manage it. Okay? When you know that you were not ready for the examination, you did not prepare properly, then you should know what is the cause of it, and then you need to rectify that cause. You need to take away that cause to manage your stress properly. Improve your study and exam taking skill. This is one way. Effective preparation for an exam. It requires going beyond reading the material several times and making notes. It's very, very important. Only going through the lesson, going through the book will not help. A good student, a student who wants to excel in the exam must make his or her own notes. There are numerous study and exam taking skills which the student can develop and use to help them succeed in examination. Okay. Then you have to, we were all talking about the psychological factors. So you need to, the examiner need to change the negative thinking pattern. Some people see exams as a threat. Okay, and thoughts about them are predominantly negative ones. तो कैसा थॉट आता है उसके मन में? मुझे इसका ये जो पर्टिकुलर सब्जेक्ट है या पर्टिकुलर टॉपिक है, ये मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ. आई एम श्योर आई एम गोइंग टू फेल. What was I thinking when I took this course? क्यों लिया? क्यों इंजीनियरिंग पढ़ने गए? क्यों हमने आर्ट्स लिया? ये मेरे लिए नहीं है. These negative thoughts can lead to stress. So when you have taken up a particular course, or when you are in a particular school or in a particular class standard, you have to remove the negative thoughts which can come to you before exam, because these negative thoughts are actually leading to stress. You have to switch to a positive frame of mind which can help to reduce stress. Okay. Now, we have to talk a little about cognitive restructuring or cognitive behavioral therapy. What is it? It is a technique that has been used to treat a variety of problems, including it may be tension, it may be anxiety, it may be depression or psychosomatic pain. So the goal of cognitive restructuring is to help a person discover what and to challenge negative irrational thoughts. The technique involves several steps. Identify the situation that is causing your stress. Identify the thoughts you have about the situation. Identifying how this way of thinking makes you feel and dispute the thoughts by looking for evidence. Identify an alternative and more balanced thought. Identify how you will feel when you replace your stress producing thought with the more balanced one. मन में नेगेटिव थॉट आने के बाद आपको सोचना है कि ये नेगेटिव थॉट क्यों आ रहा है और ये नेगेटिव को दूर करके आपको पॉजिटिव सोचना है. Then there is one very, very important technique for stress management, that is learning to relax. What is this? Because stress can affect you physically by creating tension in your body, you can you can practice deep breathing technique. एक टेक्निक होता है, बहुत आसान है. तो यू हैव टू स्लोली एंड डीपली इनहेल थ्रू योर नोज फॉर अ काउंट ऑफ 4. एक, दो, तीन, चार. इनहेल करना है, देन होल्ड द ब्रेथ फॉर अ काउंट ऑफ 7 एंड देन एक्सेल स्लोली. मुंह को ऐसे बना के थ्रू पर्स्ड लिप्स फॉर अ काउंट ऑफ 8. Do this 4 times in a row or more, and it will release your tension. There are other relaxation techniques. There can be meditation, pranayam, muscle relaxation techniques, or tai chi, which can help you out in this stressful situation. Okay. Now, when you should talk to a professional, when you are overwhelmed or you cannot control or you cannot manage your stress, or there is thought of suicide or harming yourself, then a person must talk to a professional, and he or she should take resort to counseling and psychological services after appointments with professional. Okay, and that is why CBSE is so keen about having a counselor in each and every school. This is another solution which you can feel that this is nothing but engaging in healthy behavior, eating healthy, sleeping healthy for 8 to 9 years, avoiding tobacco, avoiding substances with which the people go for abusing. Those things, the healthy behavior, healthy lifestyle can also help you to manage stress. Okay. Next, how can teachers help students manage their exam stress? This is very important for us, for the teachers, because in your class you are dealing with 40 students or more students in different classes. That's why a teacher should know how to help the students. बच्चों को कैसे help करें? You need to create a very positive classroom environment. The classroom environment should never be negative. It should be encouraging. अगर एज अ टीचर आप बच्चा को बोलो आपसे कुछ होने वाला नहीं है, बिलीव मी, वो बच्चा के ऊपर एक्सट्रीम स्ट्रेस होगा और सचमुच वो बच्चा जिंदगी में कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा. रादर यू गो ऑन मोटिवेटिंग. होगा, कौन बोला है कि आपसे नहीं होगा? आप समझ पाओगे. नहीं समझ पाते हो तो मेरे पास आओ, मैं आपको हेल्प करूंगी. सो दिस वे, बाय क्रिएटिंग अ पॉजिटिव क्लासरूम एनवायरनमेंट and by being very, very motivating for the students, you can actually help your students to manage their exam stress. Then you can teach effective study skills, कैसे पढ़ना है, कैसे रिवाइज करना है, कैसे माइंड मैप बनाना है, कैसे कंसेप्ट मैपिंग होता है, कैसे नोट बनाना है, ये आप सिखा सकते हो। यू कैन प्रोवाइड प्रैक्टिस एग्जाम, शॉर्ट एग्जाम, फीडबैक कि बेटा ये चीज आप ठीक समझ नहीं पाया, ये ऐसे नहीं करना है, वैसे करना है। You can communicate with parents in case of extreme stress on a person. You can encourage mindfulness, relaxation technique, trauma informed teaching, mental health training. These things you can do to help your students nicely. Now, we are going to end this session with some discussion on परीक्षा पे चर्चा। पीपीसी अभी बहुत ज़्यादा मतलब सीबीएसई स्कूल्स में है। We are registering our students for PPC. What is PPC? Our Prime Minister Narendra Modi tells that you have to take examination as celebration time. He has written a book called Exam Warrior, and he wants to create a stress-free atmosphere for the youngsters. Okay. So this Exam Warrior module of Prime Minister apps is an interactive tech element to the Exam Warriors movement. It communicates the core message of each mantra that the Prime Minister has written in that book. The module is not just for the students, it is also for the parents and teachers, because everyone should understand what are the causes of the stress and in what ways we can take examination joyfully, and how the exam time can be enjoyable. And these are very practical means, practical tips are there, and we as teachers, we as parents should understand these tips and should work on our exams with the help of these tips. So more on Pariksha Pe Charcha. This has started, I think, 7 years back, and this year also it will be celebrated, this Pariksha Pe Charcha, in Talkatura Stadium. And we are going to talk about the tips which were given, the 8 important exam tips which the Prime Minister has given in his Pariksha Pe Charcha last year. Okay, from PPC 2023. What are these? Remember that this particular, you can tell, project is actually to help our students, to help our youngsters, so that they can take their examination joyfully. What are the important tips? The first tip that talks about how to deal with the stress of family expectation to score good marks and the family disappointment in case of poor exam results. See, high expectations of family from their word is natural. However, expectation from students based on social status are not right. He tells it clearly. Focusing on the expectations from the near and dear ones around us can lead to a waste of time, stress, and can also become fatal. Instead, students should focus on their own goals, on their own strategy and self expectation, not on the expectation of others, but on the self expectation. Therefore, PM advised students to focus on themselves, analyze the family expectation to garner their strength and motivation, but to concentrate and focus on themselves. The second was about time management and procrastination. The stress and panic of having little time or no time comes from the load of pending work and the pile of tasks left undone until the last minute. So, the time management should be micromanagement. Here, the PM advised the students to create a list of how much time they spend on different subjects and analyze it after 1 week. And he suggested students to create alternate slab of 30 minutes, oscillating between subjects that the students consider hard and the subject that they like. In this way, the students will get relaxed also when they are going through the portion which they like, and then they will take the stress of that portion which they do not like that much. Okay. The next tip, that is unfair means, that is about unfair means during examination. So not only the PM discouraged the students from any malpractice or use of unfair means, but also told the student to stay honest throughout their life. Using unfair means can be a cause of extra stress. And there's a very good quote of Prime Minister in this particular uh, topic. Is telling shortcuts will only cut you short, and he advised the students to not to worry about such dishonest students who are going for malpractices. Instead, they should focus on their own honest exam preparation. The next topic is hard work or smart work, which is better. So, recalling the fable of the thirsty crow, PM Modi asked the students to smartly choose the areas to put hard work in. Smart work is also important, hard work is also important, but you have to smartly choose the areas where you have to put your hard work. The next topic is about being average. So many students who are having negative self image, they feel that they are very average. So, accepting that you are an average student, not falling for the illusion of being extraordinary or great, is because it helps you stay in touch with your real self. Often, ordinary people do extraordinary things if they are motivated or they are self motivated. So, students must not be stressed about being average but try to excel by aiming at being better and pushing their limits. Very, very important for all the students and also for us. The next topic, I told about 8 tips. The next topic is how to deal with negative criticism and self doubt. Now, the PM advised that the students have to focus on their goals, the goals that the students have set for themselves. That is only important. Criticism is necessary for growth and should be valued. However, students must know to differentiate between blame and criticism. If it is criticism, if it is healthy criticism, they have to accept, they have to analyze themselves, and they have to improve. But if it is blame, then they should not take it. One should not waste time on blame. The next one is how to focus on studies in the time of social media, gaming, gadget, technology. Now, here the Prime Minister told that smart gadgets are not as smart as the students. The smarter you are, the smarter use you make of the technology. Do not let the technology use you. Rather, you use the technology smartly so that you can improve yourself. And just I think last week I was going through a short video where a lady is telling कि आप पहले आपके जो मोबाइल है उसको आप मतलब स्टूडेंट्स को बोल सकते हैं उसको पहले फ्लाइट मोड में डालो, अलमीरा में रख दो और पढ़ना शुरू करो, टाइमर को ऑन करो. देखो पहला 10 मिनट में आपको लगेगा कि बाप रे इट इज टेरिबल टू कंसंट्रेट. You will mind every other unimportant task that you are having. आपको लगेगा उस फ्रेंड को कॉल करना है, अभी तो मुझे पानी पीना है, अभी वॉशरूम जाना है, अभी भूख लगा है, लेकिन उसको कंट्रोल करना है. धीरे धीरे कंट्रोल करने से there will be a time when the student will be able to use the smart gadget, not the smart gadget will use the student. And the last but not the least, about the stress of exam results. Here, the suggestion is honesty is the key. Stay true to your experience. Honestly accept and let your family know about how you felt about your exam. Let their expectations be also honest. Additionally, the last but not the least, that no exam is the end of your life. Always tell your students that जिंदगी एक टेस्ट क्रिकेट है, ये 2020 का मैच नहीं है कि एक एग्जाम में थोड़ा सा खराब हो गया और आपका जिंदगी गया. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. And the last slide is about the suggestion or the prayer to the teachers. It's from a CBSE book. It's telling about the greatest gift. The greatest gift of all cannot be bought in stores or malls. It is the treasure of being heard, truly heard. Means you hear, you pay heed to your students. Don't tell them that you are worthless, you cannot do it. Motivate them, hear from them, listen to them, how they are feeling about the examination, and help them out. It is the gift of listening to hopes, fears, dreams, hearts. Listening demonstrates acceptance, caring, and hope. Take time to listen. Foster trust and respect. The gift of your presence and truly listening opens doors to caring relationship, and that's what you are expected. Teachers, dear teachers, you are not only a teacher, that's not only your job. You are a mentor, you are a leader. So listen to your students' pains and their stress and help them out. When you will honestly listen to them, then your students will overcome and manage the exam stress better. With that, I come to an end of this session. Thank you for the listening. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I hope the session had really been quite learning. I enjoyed the session a lot, and the
Thank you, sir.
participants would definitely have, say, learned a lot. So now, before we conclude, I request all the participants to kindly mark their attendance up to 5:45 p.m. And thank you once again to our resource person, Rama ma'am, who has done it so brilliantly today and added the real stress of the principles. I heard the last
But
time.
PPC was very important to discuss.
We are all in stress with this. So, with this, uh, now I wish to conclude and request all the participants on behalf of Aryavarta Hotel School Complex to stay connected, keep taking trainings as per the CBSE norms. We are all for here. Thank you so much.
Thank
Now
you,
we
sir.
can. Thank
Thank you, everyone.